Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals all across Sevier County, from hidden hideaways to new spots, practically right in downtown Gatlinburg. They've got one called City Bear that you can look up on their website, City Bear. Let Parkside Cabin Rentals provide you with the home away from home in the beautiful wintry Smoky Mountains. Visit parksidecabinrentals.com to pick the cabin of your dreams. They do a great job. The Ogle family's been the tops in hospitality since the national park first was commissioned over there. So Parkside Cabin Rentals, if you're thinking of going to the Smokies, that's the first name for you to think of, parksidecabinrentals.com. All right, two quick questions, one for Bob Hodge, one for David Ubben. Bob, I'll start with you. Oklahoma and Texas couldn't find a way out of the Big 12 early, it doesn't look like. So it looks like they won't be joining the SEC until 2025. That was the initial plan, and they're not going to be able to get out sooner, it doesn't seem. On the one hand, it means Tennessee won't have to deal with two more teams above them or a 9-game conference schedule. Okay, won't have to deal with that for a couple of years. On the other hand, it means the current system, where you got to get past Georgia to get to Atlanta, where you're still going to play Alabama, Georgia, Florida every year, is in place. So, is this a good thing or a bad thing for Josh Heupel in the Vols?
You know, at first I thought it was probably good, but the more I thought about it, I think it's bad. Because you literally are the only team in America, unless I'm missing something, that has the two top teams in America on your schedule every year.
Also, yeah.
Auburn, okay, thank you very much. Forgot about Auburn. And who cares about them anyway?
That's right.
So I just think that is a tough place to start every season. And you look this year, best season you've had in 20 years, fantastic team. You still go down to Georgia and you get beat badly. You get beaten worse than I think most people want to admit that you got beat down in Georgia. So I would like to have seen it shaken up a little bit.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, if you ask anybody right now, would you rather play Alabama, Georgia, or Alabama, Texas, or Alabama, Oklahoma? I think you'd take Alabama, Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma. You don't want Alabama,
Any
Georgia.
day of the week.
So.
Any day of the week.
All right, David, here, let me put up a graphic for you, and this is coming straight from The Athletic. If we've got it here, you guys did some research that laid out the fact that basically of your top quarterback prospects, top 50 quarterback prospects the last few years, 70% of those guys transfer to another school. And even if you play them, even if they start a game in the first 2 years, like 60% transfer and leave. My question for you is, on one hand, no one can keep top quarterbacks happy, so that's bad. You don't know if you're going to be able to have your guys or not. On the other hand, give schools like Tennessee, Grant Hendon Hooker, hey, you're just one signal caller out of the portal away from turning your program around. So, is this good for college football or bad for college football that all these quarterbacks are now hitting the portal?
Well, the one thing I've said the last couple of years when people ask about the changes is I say it's the absolute best time to cover college football, a great time to play college football, and a terrible time to coach college football. And I think big picture, for each program, it's complicated, it's difficult, but for the sport as a whole, it's very, very good because, for one, you have that element of hope, but also when you have all these roster moves, you have all this constant movement, it just keeps the sport in the conversation. Yeah. You have Portal Day in December where there's no games being played and everybody wants to talk about, are we losing guys, are we getting guys, where's this guy going, where's that guy going? And then you have the offseason storylines. You have guys, like Brennan Armstrong leaves Virginia. He's going to go play Virginia next year. Yeah. Sam Hartman goes to Notre Dame. They're going to go play Wake next year. Phil Dracovic leaves BC. They're going to go play Pitt next year. All these games, all these interesting storylines, all this movement, it reminds me a lot of the NBA offseason, which drives a lot of the NBA conversation. And college football has been close to a 12-month sport. Now it's probably like a 10, 11th-month sport, basically now. Yeah. And that's good for the sport as a whole. Frustrating to coach, frustrating for fans, some hope for fans. It's complicated for fans, terrible for coaches. But the sport as a whole, I think, is really benefiting.
I think you covered all the aspects of that. Yeah. I think you're right, though. I mean, I don't think it's good for the sport, but I don't think anything is bad for that sport. Yeah. Football in America, they could pretty much just thumb their nose at the fans and we'd still go over there and say, wow, what a game.
You know what the only thing that's bad is when you're at school, Oklahoma, Caleb Williams, you've got a player that you're going to fall in love with for a couple of years, and now he's gone. Kind of NFL-ish.
Very.
Well, it's like the NFL, but if they had a fantasy draft every year.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. When we come back, what's our confidence level in Tennessee's ability to capture a national title in football? We'll discuss that. Come on back on the Sports Source.